Hi, I am Shweta here, and today we have Dr. Neelima Deshpande, who joined my community of authors last year, and she has already published. Okay, so a little bit about Dr. Neelima. She is a highly qualified gynec with over 27 years of experience, yes, in managing women's health issues, especially menopause, incontinence, and sexual health. And wondering what her book is about, her first book, it's on Menopause. Yes. Let me share my screen with all of you. You can look at her book. So she applied my most trusted author model, and here it is: Menopause Made Easy, 121 tips to guide and inspire. Design your perfect plan for health and vitality at menopause. So that's her book. Go ahead, grab a copy of this book if you are near or if someone you know who needs this book. Okay? And in India, especially, we talk a little bit less about our sexual health, about periods, and this book will definitely help you bust a lot of myths and also become a guide for you to help plan your health around menopause. Okay? So let's hear from Dr. Neelima. Congratulations, Dr. Neelima, on your book. And I'm so happy that someone took the lead on writing about this topic.
Thank you so much, Shweta, and my deepest gratitude to you and to the support from within the community and the wonderful setup that you have created. Because without you, this book would have never actually seen the light of any kind of day, much less Amazon. Because joining your course was one of the best things I ever did. This book was in my head for over 2 years. Ever since I started my first menopause endeavor, in Nashik in 2017, I've been writing, the tips for this book. It's always been in my head. I need to write these tips. I need to write this book about menopause. It's only when I joined your course and that 30-day marathon that we did, and it was right until the midnight of April, that day that I actually got it written, and I just had to click the button to publish it. And all of the steps that led up to it, they were like so straightforward, and I was absolutely delighted to be having your course at hand. I remember, that night sitting with the laptop with you speaking on one side, sitting with the desktop in front of me and just like furiously jabbing away, clicking, making sure I had all the stuff ready. So I was absolutely delighted when I could put all of the full stops and all of the join all the dots and get all the quotes and the pictures, images, everything all ready and done. So it has been fabulous. And after meeting you, and I had so many ideas for many more books. So I've got at least another 5 in the pipeline. I have to just sit down and now write them. So I'll be back.
Congratulations once again. When I had seen your idea, menopause, and I had told you that, Dr. Neelima, I have one more idea, which we would, I had been thinking so much about it because, especially in India, women, I don't know why, but they don't talk about it. And when I saw this book, I was really happy that, yes, somewhere this book is going to impact a lot of people, especially in India, because it's written by an Indian. So let's talk about you, Dr. Neelima, your experience, your journey as a doctor and why you decided to write this book. Why you thought that you need to talk about menopause. So let's get started.
The most interesting aspect about menopause is that now postmenopausal. I'm 55. And when I first started realizing that my problems were because of menopause was soon after I had spinal surgery. I had spinal surgery at the age of 36. And I went through almost 10, 15 years of a lot of pain, anguish, depression, anxiety. And even though I'm a gynecologist, it took me a good long time before I realized that these symptoms were overlapping with symptoms of menopause. And that's when the real search began, being able to resolve the symptoms, make the understanding clear, understand my risks. And even though I've been very healthy most of my life, this pain, chronic pain, depression, and anxiety really got to me. And I couldn't understand because I became a different person in the time that I was going through menopause. And even though I was a gynecologist, understanding the hormonal changes and the impact it has on me, because it's such a gradual process, it's not like, oh my God, yesterday I was fine, today I have a cold and a cough, so I go and take some medicine and I get better. Menopause is not like that. It kind of creeps up on you over the years, especially in your 40s, mid 40s, for some people, maybe earlier also. So when I started exploring all the different kinds of options, things started to become very clear for me, especially the models about nutrition, about movement, about psychological health, about the different kinds of aspects of menopause. And that's when I first started my own clinic dealing for women who are dealing with menopausal symptoms. And I realized that if you can manage your menopause really, really well, then the number of years that are going to come after menopause, and in today's age, it's going to be at least another 30 years for most women.
At
And
least
the longer
30,
you live,
40.
the
Yeah.
longer you live. The longer you live, the longer you live. So every year past 50 that we live, we're going to live more than 80. So we need to get our lives sorted so that our quality of life is really good. Most people, they postpone their life because, we'll do it later on, but they don't realize that what they live today is how their life is going to be after 20 or 30 years. So that's why I wrote this book. And I hope that women will look at the tips and they can apply it to their lives, and they can, gift it to their sisters, to their daughters, because for a lot of women, youngsters don't realize that their health in their 50s and 60s is dependent on what they do as teenagers and in their 20s. And
True.
when we're young, we feel invincible, like nothing is going to harm us. But
So true.
and although our body is really good at healing from stuff, what we put in definitely has a big impact on the kind of health we're going to enjoy in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. That's why I wrote this book, and it's not just for menopausal women, it's also for women with daughters, women who are going to go through pregnancy, women who come the other side of pregnancy, with for daughter-in-laws, for sisters, for friends, for book readers groups, book readers groups. So it's all kinds of women.
Wow. And even the men who can gift it to their
And
spouse or
the
their
men, yeah,
mothers.
yeah, definitely. The men, yeah, the men who have women in their lives, it's for them as well.
And I think they can also read to understand what they go through, women
Yes,
go through, right?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. You hit on a really, really important point.
So go ahead, grab a copy for yourself or to gift it to someone else. And just do it to understand what women go through or might be going through. I'm sure you might be knowing at least one woman in your life. So go ahead, grab this book and, read about menopause and how you can help others through this book. Amazing, Dr. Neelima. This
Thank you. Thank you
even
so much.
I've seen my mother suffer. Okay. And I'm also in my 40s. I know that I'm going to need this book, okay, Menopause. So great.
You get
So,
it as a gift,
huh?
Shweta. You get it as a gift.
Thank
It's
you.
my privilege to give
So
it to you. So
that's
I'm
the
just
advantage of
grateful.
being a book coach because I get books from my author students. So I know that I'm getting a lot of books to read, and especially Indian authors. I've seen them grow like anything, and the quality of content that is coming to me every week. I'm getting at least 2 to 3 books from my students, and I see that amazing, great stuff. Like you also thought that uh, people need to read this, and you had been working on it for a couple of years, and your gyne experience of more than 25 years shows in the book. Similarly, when people are coming with books like on gardening or on anesthesia, another doctor or a lawyer coming on their experience in the courtroom, you know great stuff, or stock market. So that's amazing. I will wait for that book. So going through, so you did tell a bit about your writing experience. So tell us more about your writing experience. How much time did you take to write this book? Like a month, 2 months, how many months?
Less than a month. So once we started, like once I joined your 7 a.m. club, I had because in the 5-day WhatsApp class that I first joined, I had the outline ready anyway. So the outline was ready, sort of tentatively, the book cover was ready, the idea was very clear. And when I straight away joined the 7 a.m. club. So when I started writing, I think within the first week, the initial first draft was ready. And then the next week, I had my first editions, the chapters, etc., ready. And then the last 2 weeks were spent in finalizing the images, getting the typeface, going through your videos, understanding what kind of size I wanted, what the trim size was going to be, which kind of format I wanted, how I wanted it to look, understanding KDP, putting it on KDP. And then the last 2-3 days were the days where I finally put it on KDP, made all the corrections, all the different kinds of, reading and proofreading, making sure it was all set up, and then click publish. That was it.
So
Of
in less
course,
than a month, you were able to do it.
yeah, I've kind of, because I went back and did the other stuff. So I made all the additions about the keywords and then the categories, and then I went back and I created the review page. And so I went and made changes in the book that I'd written, and then re-uploaded it to Kindle. So then it's available on Kindle as paperback. And then of course all the other stuff that that follows, including creating the author page and creating the ISBN, applying for ISBN, trying to put it on the print, the hard copy page. That I'm still doing. It's just taken a little bit of time. But yeah, the actual publishing on Amazon was a month.
It feels like, you really enjoyed that process and you still remember everything, whatever
every day, every day. Because it was so exciting, writing. And I remember, I think I was writing so fast. I was up like 7,000 words. I was like writing a day, like, it was like super. And I taught myself touch typing a long time ago, when I was in England. This is going back 1997, 1998, when I first taught myself touch typing. And I wasn't young. I was already like 34, 35 then. So I taught myself touch typing. My typing speed was up to 56 words per minute. And after that, I never really got a chance to practice that kind of speed. But when I was doing the 7 a.m. club, I was like, oh, I was like on fire. I was like,
you're still young, with that energy you are bringing in. I feel that, but I'm not talking to a 50-year-old. I am talking to a 20-year-old, really. Your energy is awesome and inspiring. I'm sure people who are watching this video can actually feel Neelima's vibe. Type in the chat box if you're really feeling her vibe.
You made it happen, Shweta. The mornings were absolutely super, especially the free writing, the 1 minute, and then the writing sprints are just like they're super. I love that. That is something I want to definitely get back to.
So one more question, which is one of my favorite questions. Did you pay to get published? Did you pay someone?
No, not at all. And that's the bit I love the most is this whole like I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but yeah, having something that is in your domain, that is under your control, then you don't have to go and beg, borrow. There are no follow-up emails. There's no kind of running around somebody, chasing somebody. It's your speed, you make the corrections, you put them up, you get to see the results instantly. And we live in this amazing digital age where this is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like 10, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that possible. Because I remember when I first started writing theses, for my diplomas and my masters, everything I had to write by hand or I had to type, I had to print it out and do the corrections and then post the damn thing. Now you don't have to do that. I mean, the only thing I posted in this thing was my copyright copies. And even that was like, it was so prompt and amazing. I'm quite surprised how easy things are in India. Once upon a time, people used to kind of wax lyrical about being abroad and being in the UK and the US. And I'm actually amazed and I'm feeling so privileged to be in India.
And also the fact that in India, we do have traditional vanity and we also have now the option to self-publish. Okay? And you don't have to follow up with anyone. That's a great thing that you have brought about. That yes, paying to ek baat hai, but after paying also you have to follow up, and that you really avoid. Plus, you have transparency, the dashboard, Amazon dashboard. You don't have to ask someone, okay, kitna sale ho gaya, okay? And here it is, you see the hourly sales. So yeah, that's why.
That was the exciting thing. That was the exciting thing. After I uploaded it, like next month I got, you have a commission from KDP. I was like, oh, exactly my They still bought it.
Okay. So anything particular you remember, any incident in your life that, during your writing and publishing or marketing process that happened, and you remember particularly any funny or inspiring incident that happened in your journey so far?
I think the inspiring incident, one of the things that kind of got me kicked into doing it was during the 5-day class. Remember, there was one day where you asked us to judge the market, by posting something on social
Yeah,
media. That was
yeah.
something I hadn't done. Like one, I think it's that I confessed that one step in that journey. I said I was too judgmental about myself. I was too thinking, oh my God, who am I to write this book? Who's going to want to read it? There's so many people writing, and I didn't do that. And we have Ashwin Chikava, in the group who
Yes,
published his write-up, and he sold like so many 150
yes,
copies of his book
correct.
even before he wrote it. And that really opened my eyes. I said, my God, I've got to write this book. I just have to write it because, it is, if I don't write it, it will be like something I regret for the rest of my life because Shweta has made it so easy. She has made it so accessible. She has made it so simple. And I just have to do it. And that was like the thing that made me get on and actually write it and sit down and do the work.
Yeah. So the main reason we do, okay.
Sorry.
No, no. So the main reason I ask people to launch is obviously there are a lot of other reasons, but one more reason is getting along, used to the fear that is inside us, the self-doubt, and start ignoring it and taking action. That is one of the reasons a
Yeah.
lot of people don't take that action because they don't
Yeah.
have that confidence in themselves that whether they'll be able to do it or not. Okay? And you did it, and I'm so proud that you overcame that fear, that self-doubt, and see, we are having this interview today.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
So any bit of advice for first-time authors, based on your experience so far?
I think I'll be repeating what you say, but it is so important that we don't pass on an opportunity to be ourselves, to talk to the world about our gifts and about what we have to offer. Gone are the days where you have to first become famous before anybody will listen to you. Gone are the days when we only look up to somebody on a pedestal because everybody's life experience, their contribution is so unique. There will be somebody who learns so much from your experience, from your contribution, from your perspective of looking at life and what you do and what you want to give to the world. So it's such an important way of making a contribution. Also, writing a book it's not just about writing and it's not just about the book. It's also about forming an identity. So when now I say, yeah, I'm a published author, there's a different kind of worthiness that wells up inside of me. The fact that holding Shweta's hand, I could do it in a self-publishing environment is even more uplifting because I know that I've got the tools and the resources to get on and do it again and again and again and keep perfecting and mastering my craft. It's also really important because nowadays nobody gives each other visiting cards. But the moment you say you have a book, that you've written a book and you put the effort, and I know what those 30 days was. Yeah, I talk about it in a really exciting way, but it is like going through fire. It is like going through fire. It's like walking on coals. You come out the other side a transformed individual. You are a different person. That 30 days changed me inside out. It's not just the book. So if you want to go on that transformative journey, if you want to light that fire inside you, if you want to commit to a future you that is different to what it was before you wrote the book, then you don't have a choice. You have to write that book. You have to write that book and you have to go and tell people about your journey, about how you got to where you got to and what transformed you, and make your contribution in that way. That's what I would say.
Wow, that's really so inspiring. One thing I really always tell that you are going to change, you're going to get transformed, and as you said, it's like walking on fire. Meaning if you are going to change when you write that book, and inside you will feel confident, you will feel good about yourself, that sense of achievement will be there. And every time you tell people I'm an author, inside you will be very proud of that thing that you've done.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So I'm even more motivated to write the big book now.
So thank you so much, Dr. Neelima. And people, if you're inspired, type in the chat box or in the comments, you're inspired by watching this video. Go ahead, grab her book. The link is here in the description section. And if you want to join my 5-day workshop, go ahead, join it. The link would be here again, in the description. So once again, thank you, Dr. Neelima, for being here, sharing your experience. And it was a very enlightening and a good talk. Felt happy, felt good, and feel really proud of your achievements.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.